Well, welcome. Welcome to the MCC. Welcome to all our visitors. We have from the World Food Program, and we have somebody from Bloomberg, I think, is here. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. This is a great day. I'm particularly pleased to be able to be here at the podium when we're welcoming the World Food Program here, because one of my earliest and best experiences in development was with the World Food Program. I was a Peace Corps volunteer. I was trying to figure out what to do for handicapped people in the community that I was working in Swaziland, and worked out with our chief and the local council that what they could really use was some supplemental food. And then went in completely naive to the World Food Program office, and we put together a program that worked for years. Years after I left, that program was still going, and it was a great little activity. And the thing that it demonstrated to me was the responsiveness of the World Food Program. This is one of the UN agencies that does things, that gets things done, and that is practical. So practical that it can even deal with a Peace Corps volunteer who walks in off the street. So it's, and let me say that the MCC is also a practical program. We're also an organization that gets things done, that has a viewpoint of how do we make an impact on people's lives, how do we respond to needs and problems out in the world. So I think that this is a great moment for us to come together, and with that, let me ask the CEO of the MCC, Daniel Yohannes, our leader, to come up and say a few words.
Thanks, Patrick. Patrick has spent so many years in Africa, so what happened was he's been adopted in every village and by the chiefs, and he's been given so many titles. So, Patrick, I'm really jealous of you, all right? Anyway, today, a very special moment. We're here to sign a memorandum of understanding between the Millennium Challenge Corporation and the World Food Program. Last June, I had the honor and the privilege to meet with Josette, and we talked about the success of the first program, the first MOU that was signed in 2008. And there's been some real results. And in Ghana, in particular, where we trained about 65,000 farmers, the World Food Program has acquired 1,000 metric tons of maize from MCC trained farmers, worth about $360,000, which is significant. So based on success of the first program, Josette talked about expanding it to include other countries in the region. So today, I really like to thank for a number of people, both from MCC and the World Food Program, that have been involved in helping make this a reality. I know a lot of names, but I just want to thank Kathy Farley, who's not here today, and Alan Jerry from the World Food Program for making it possible. So, our investments in Ghana is huge. It's about $450 million. And the Ghanaians have chosen to invest about $250 million of our investment to help them become food secure. In addition to training farmers, they've complemented the program by building roads so that the farmers could have access to their produce to the outside markets. And it's not only in Ghana. Out of the $8 billion investment we have, about 50% of our investment are going to help many of our partner countries become food secure. So when we look at our work and we look at the work that's being conducted by the World Food Program, which is designed to reduce hunger and making many of the world countries poor food secure, it really complements it. So today I'm really excited that in addition to Ghana, we're going to be able to expand to other countries in the region, Senegal, Mali, and Mozambique and others. So it's a great program, and I'm really excited, Josette, that we're making it possible today. So with that, I'd like to introduce Josette Sheeran, a friend of MCC and the Executive Director of the United Nations World Food Program. Like Patrick talked about, at they're very effective. I've seen the results of what they do around the world. So we're very excited to have you, and I'd like to invite you to the podium to say a few words. All right? Let's give her a big hand.
Well, thank you. I'm really, really happy to be here. I really love the work of the Millennium Challenge Corporation, and it's really an honor for us to come together and do business together to help with our common goal. I was there at the founding of the MCC. And before the world really talked about country-led strategies, MCC was creating a pathway to do that. And I really love the fact that MCC is one program that really rewards the best governance in the world and the best actions in the world and says we're going to invest in that. And we're going to try to multiply that so that there is no longer a need for aid and concentrate the funding enough to have a tipping point type of effect. For the World Food Program, as I say, our goal is to put ourselves out of business. But we have a problem. Wouldn't be me without my red cup, which is that today 1 out of every 7 people on earth wake up and don't even know how to fill this cup with food. That challenge is inherently destabilizing, but also shows that at the most fundamental level in many countries, basic markets aren't working even at a scale where you can sustain the population. And so we have a simple goal at the World Food Program, which is to put ourselves out of business, which is to just ensure that every individual on earth at least has a nutritious cup of food a day. Now, when our actions meet yours, it's very powerful. And if we look at the Ghana example, 65,000 farmers whose lives are transformed. WFP is a supply chain. We need to reach people, the hungriest children in the world, with food, and we buy it now in 70 nations. The idea of purchasing for progress is whether or not we can purchase food from the world's most marginalized farmers, the ones who would never be in that supply chain, even at that local level. Because, why? Well, there's many, many reasons, and we're using P4P to solve that disconnect from markets. Maybe there's no roads to where the farmers are. Maybe there's no warehouses. Maybe there's a simple lack of a drying machine or even screens to dry food out in the sun. That can be a total market breakdown. And so P4P, which is now in 20 countries, is turning out to be a very powerful engine to end the very dependence of those farmers on food aid. And we're learning they would rather sell to us than receive from us, and buy their own food, and by the way, be able to pay for their kids to go to college. So we did sign a memorandum of understanding 2 years ago. I'm going to call this a memorandum of action, something new we're creating here. And I really want to thank our teams because we've transformed this. We've said, okay, we understand each other, but it's the action that's more interesting. And so what we've done is say, let's take 3 countries and really look at your platform and ours and how we can bring those together to bring powerful results that actually help end poverty. I love your saying here, ending poverty through growth. One reason I am very, very hopeful that we will end hunger in my lifetime, just let that go through your minds, is because it's not permanent charity. When you end hunger, you create market opportunities up and down the entire value chain. And I've noticed that most of MCC's programs really are looking at the agricultural breakdown, really looking at economies that are fundamentally agrarian and need to make that transition to being able to connect those farmers to markets. And so I think there is a very powerful connection. In addition, the MOU says we'll work on nutrition solutions together, especially maternal health programs. This is very powerful because as we work with countries such as Liberia, who's a threshold program with you, The question is, what do they fill this cup with in school? Is it nutritious? Is it ending the problems of malnutrition? And so you have to link the synergies in between these programs and to say, if we're going to create an engine, we're going to purchase this food, what is being purchased and what is being scaled up, and is it addressing the fact that many of these children don't have an opportunity to have a mind and body that's whole and strong? This is very, very key for a couple of reasons. One, the Millennium Development Goals, nutrition and access to affordable food is really at the core of so many. You can't reach any of these goals unless people have enough to eat and unless children have strong minds and bodies. And so you were founded, in fact, on the birth of the Millennium Development Goals in a new century, and I think this is very critical. We'll also be looking at 3 joint action plans. As you said, we're both doer agencies. You're not there to be permanent, you're there to help be a catalytic platform. So are we. Let's celebrate the successes of Cape Verde. I think WFP had the first party in the world. In September, we brought the Prime Minister of Cape Verde, and we invited the world to the party. We had music from Cape Verde, and WFP shut down its offices in Cape Verde. This is a great day. Why? Not because we're abandoning them, but because they had their own food security safety nets in place. And we had a young woman who we had done a video on in 1992 who did not have any opportunities in life, and her only food was the cup of food she got in school every day. And the video told the story of her life and the life-saving transformation that food provided. We found her, and she came and spoke. And she's now a big official in the Department of Education in Cape Verde. Her life transformed by that opportunity. So I understand Cape Verde has also graduated from your program. And let us believe that our joint actions, as the Prime Minister said, the world stood with them, helped launch that great moment. President Obama, in launching the new development strategy, really talked about creating the conditions where development assistance is no longer needed. This is key. And to seek sustainable solutions, this is key. And we really look forward with you to find those programs that are sustainable and scalable, and to concentrate on the 3 countries where we can really, perhaps, bring those farmers into their own independent capability to feed themselves, nurture their communities, and build their future. So thank you very much. I want to thank the whole MCC team. I know you do a lot with a little here as far as everything you have to accomplish, but I feel your impact around the world. I want to thank my team, Alan Jury, and Rick Leach, your friends, and all the WFP team here. Thank you so much for working together to do this. I just want to celebrate finally. We did meet in Rome, and we decided to do this. And it's not every day, believe it or not, that when leaders decide something, it happens so quickly. So thank you all for making it happen so quickly. Thank you.
If the 2 of you can please take a seat at this table. I love your characterization of memorandums of action. Not even, they're MOAs, right? But not memorandums of agreement, memorandums of action, and that's what we are witnessing here.